And there it is. Roll up, ladies and gentlemen. One man went to mow. Here it is. Here I am. Hope you're there. The session commences. It's very, very short notice, but so I have no high expectations as to participation. So this almost likely to be one of those watch back videos. But if you are available and you have gotten the notification, then come participate. It's going to be a very relatively short session. One man went to mow. To attention, the eagle has landed.
To the Nigerian national anthem, Mr. Albert Congo raises the flag of the new nation.
And there it is right there. So I actually played that anthem for a purpose. A lot of people, they would insist that the constitution that Nigeria recognizes is the 1960, is the formation, the initiation, the independence constitution, because every constitution that Nigeria has had since our independence has been an illegality. So every constitution that the Nigerian state has had since the formation of the state has been an illegality, because it is not a reflection of the will of the people, but an imposition of some gun-wielding uniformed person. So that is why I played that anthem. So that is the anthem that birthed Nigeria, and we seem in so many ways not to have left that point. So until the will of the people subsists in Nigeria, that remains for me the Nigerian national anthem. So Nigeria, we hail thee, indeed. So Nigeria, we hail thee. As guys, I bring you this. Again, Aso Rock Cabal asks Jonathan to prepare for ruling APC presidential ticket, rejects Tinubu Oshibanjo. So you may well feel a sense of some time machine in play, thinking you are going back in time, but this is actually a story that has come. So this is a story that has, I was going to say this is a story that has come back in time, but I've looked at the date now, and it looks as though this story might well have been a reprint of a previous space. So I'm not sure if I'm going to have to change the thumbnail of this particular one. But let's have a feel of it to see if it adds anything new. The cabal, comprising some members of President Buhari's extended family and friends, are the power behind the throne. Again, members of the Aso Rock cabal have promised former President Goodluck Jonathan the 2023 presidential ticket of the ruling All Progressives Congress. Correspondents gathered. So let me just abandon that very swiftly, and I have to hold my hands up on that. It looks as though a completely misread from me, but not so much a misread as a misprint from the people who put this up, because this was a thing that came up in the news of the last 5 minutes or so. So that's really what inspired me. And you know, I only ever read the headlines because I don't like to read the body of the piece. So I formed an opinion before you guys. I want us to form opinions together, and that's why I often only ever go with the headlines. So now it looks as though that's a bit somewhat mischievous by the publishers. No price guessing where that is coming from. Sahara reporters, of course, the purveyors of fake news. So if you're looking for fake news in Nigeria, you go to Sahara reporters. All right, bear with me. That's somewhat put me in a bit of a flummox, because that's the headline now that trails the video. So that's now put a bit of it's put somewhat a bit of a flummox on proceedings. So let me just see if there's anything. There are other stories to bring you, so rest assured. But that headlines the session. So so I'm not seeing if there's anything equally as punchy. All right. So it's the usual. So I'm scouring the headlines, and what made me chuckle: Boko Haram. Doctors beg Buhari to secure Abuja ahead of NMA conference. So the medical doctors now wanted to have their conference at the capital city of their own country, are now begging the Fulani tribal president to reel in his tribesmen just so that doctors. And what are the chances? With almost certainty, the Fulani clansmen will go and shoot up the doctors for reasons of their tribesman is the president. So there it is. And just look at that headline: Boko Haram doctors beg Buhari to secure Abuja ahead of NMA conference. It beggars, but it's as staggering as it is sad. Uh, So all these super tucanos that they said they bought that was a game changer, it looks as though that hasn't changed any games. Maybe they've even sold it on to Niger Republic. When Tinubu comes in as president or Atiku, they will struggle to find those super tucanos because Buhari would have farmed them off to his clansmen in Niger Republic, which is really where his lineage and his heart is. It's quite a thing. It's unbelievable. Forex scarcity. Buhari regime advised to help repatriate foreign airlines ticket revenues. So a lot of you would have seen the headline, of course. Emirates Airlines cutting services to Nigeria for reasons of not being able to expatriate their money. So it's just we've had 8 years of this guy now virtually, and there is nothing that has moved in terms of progression in that country. Everything. The economy has collapsed. The insecurity, well, you know the storyline there. The interrelationship within the ethnicities, you know the relationship there. The interrelationship between the tribes, you know the relationship there. So what exactly has been the purpose? Well, he will say he has served his purpose, which is the is Islamization and Fulanization agenda. But how has that progressed, or how has the Nigerian nation progressed? Because I'm not really certain that he has progressed his Fulanization, Islamization agenda as he imagines he has done. And certainly we know that the Nigerian state, he has regressed that quite sharply. So a failure on all fronts. The only winners, of course, the elements are Abba Kyari, not the policeman, but his nephew that died, Maman Daura, Abubakar Malami. These people that have amassed what 20, 30, 40 billion dollars just on a looting spree. So that's been the only achievement of this regime. So let me go on from there. It looks as though I've made a faux pas with the headline. So let me move swiftly on and come to this space instead. Atiku makes fresh appointments. So Atiku makes fresh appointments. So this is a headline that I've just conjured up now in a hurried manner just because now I have to change the thumbnail, I suspect. The 2023 presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) and vice presidential candidate, the 2023 presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) and former vice president of Nigeria, Atiku Abubakar, has made a fresh appointment. Correspondents report Atiku appointed Ms. Lean Bassi as Special Assistant on Gender Issues and Women Development. The appointment is in furtherance of his commitment to women and youth empowerment. His media advisor, Paul Ibe, told newsroom correspondents via a mail statement on Monday. The statement noted, Ms. Bassi is an alumnus of both University of Calabar, where she is currently pursuing a doctorate degree in development sociology, and Pan Atlantic University Lagos Business School. Her appointment as special assistant will make the fifth to be her appointment as special assistant will make the fifth to be announced by the PDP presidential candidate in the past few weeks. It added, Ms. Bassi's appointment is in keeping with the promise by Atiku Abubakar to reserve a good percentage of his appointment if elected president for women and youth. So there it is. I'm not quite sure what we're making of that, but what we make of that, we'll see shortly. So now to this space, 2023, Wike orders agreed to support Atiku will not dump PDP. So it looks as though now all the tantrums and throwing his dummies out of the pram, Wike has now been brought to heel. So Wike brought to heel, Governor Yemson Wike of Rivers State and some People's Democratic Party PDP chieftains have agreed to work for the success of the party's presidential candidate, Atiku Abubakar, in the 2023 general elections. Correspondents understand that Governor Wike and some of his colleagues who are in his camp have agreed to remain in their party and work for Atiku's victory in the forthcoming election. This resolution followed a closed-door emergency meeting held at the Rivers State Governor's Lodge in Abuja on Sunday. Correspondents quoted a member of the PDP National Working Committee who spoke on condition of anonymity, saying that none of the serving or former governors was leaving the party as was being rumored. He said all the party chieftains resolved to work together to address whatever internal crisis exists and support the party's presidential candidate towards victory in the 2023 elections. Those at the meeting include Governor Seyi Makinde of Oyo State, Okezi Akwazu of Abia, Samuel Otom of Benue, and Ifeanyi, whatever, of Enugu. Also at the meeting are former governor of Cross River State, Donald Duke, former governor of Benue State, Gabriel Suswam, or whatever, Gabriel Suswam, former Ondo State Governor Olusegun Mimiko, and former Bayelsa State Governor Seriaka Dixon. Others are the former governor of Kogi State, Ibrahim Idris, former Plateau State Governor Jonah Jang, former Minister of Information Professor Jerry Gana, and former PDP governorship candidate, former Kano PDP governorship candidate, Mohamed Abacha. So Mohamed Abacha now a former, but he's still contending that space, of course. Senate Minority Leader Philip Aduda was also at the meeting with some members of the PDP National Assembly caucus. In May, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar polled 371 votes to emerge as the PDP flag bearer, ahead of Wike, who scored 237 votes to come second in the party's presidential primaries. Weeks after the primaries was held, the PDP presidential candidate named Governor Ifeanyi Okowa of Delta State as his running mate. This, however, led to a disagreement amongst party stakeholders, as some commended the choice of Okowa, whilst others rejected it, saying Atiku should have picked Wike, who was the runner-up in the primary, instead of his Delta counterpart. In a bid to address the perceived grievances of the governor, the Board of Trustees of the PDP set up a reconciliatory committee to meet with Wike of Rivers State over the fallout of the party's presidential primary and crisis trailing the nomination of a running mate. So there it is right there. So actually, I should have left that till later, because there's a precursor to that, which is a video. Actually, let me play you that video clip now, because there's a precursor to that, which might well have informed Wike's stance. So let me see if I can find it, because I had it lined up. So let me just now look for it. Okay, so there it is. So let me bring it back again. So this I think is what surrendered Wike. This is my opinion, because Wike in the last few hours got a thorough flogging by Reuben Abati, and that flogging from Reuben Abati is what I think ultimately humbled Wike. So those are my thoughts. So let me now share the video of Abati flogging Wike, and then you tell me then if you share my sentiments or not. So here is Reuben Abati applying the koboko here is Reuben Abati applying the koboko generously to the behind of the wayward River State governor. Here it is.
I think it's a tragedy for the People's Democratic Party that the party has been reduced to the level of the tantrums and the melodrama of one individual called Nyesom Wike, 59-year-old Nyesom Wike, who thinks that the party belongs to him. I hope that the party itself will take part of the blame, because after the 2015-2019 general elections, when everybody abandoned the party, it was Wike that stepped in there using resources. Well, I don't know where those resources came from, but he stood firm to defend the party, to keep the party alive, and to keep other members of the party at the highest level alive. And hence, he developed a sense of entitlement. And he thought, in a royalistic manner, that the top prize, the top position in the party was meant for him. But when he was disappointed, now he's gone ahead to throw tantrums. He didn't make it to the presidential, ticket of the party. He was also pushed aside in the choice of the running mate to the presidential standard bearer, Alhaji, well, he says we should not call him Alhaji, Atiku Abubakar. Okay, so at the end of the day, here we are. So the PDP has a Wike problem. I hope that going forward, the party will learn from their own conduct, from their own mistakes, how because of stomach infrastructure, many leaders of the party more or less handed over the party to one man who developed a sense of delusion, a sense of exaggerated importance, and thought that he could lord it over other members of the party. Second, now they've had a meeting yesterday. Professor Jerry Garner, who is one of the founding fathers of the party, says we are one. Well, that contradicts what Nyesom Wike himself pointed out in the interview that he granted at the Port Harcourt International Airport when he returned, from a trip. He said that he will talk more. What is he going to say again? In 15 minutes of rambling, protest, he said Atiku lied in an interview that he had with this station, Arise TV. Two of the interviewers are here, okay? Now, at the end of the day, he did not debunk the lies that he imagined. I'm not defending the Atiku camp. That's not my job. I'm a journalist. Now, what did Atiku say that he addressed concretely, other than saying Atiku lied? What former Vice President Atiku said is that, look, he was given a short list and he chose from the short list. Nobody was imposed on him. And that it is his prerogative to choose his own running mates. How is that a problem? So you ask the question, what exactly does Wike want? The other day when we discussed this matter, when he started, I said, look, Wike is throwing tantrums. They should give him lollipop. The major takeaway from that is interview at the airport is that nobody has brought the lollipop to him. So what is that lollipop that he wants? I said, when a child is crying, you pet him, you give him sweet lollipop, let him lick it. However, the more important point that I've seen is a point made by, former governor of Jigawa State, former minister of foreign affairs, Alhaji Sule Lamido, who says that, look, the party is supreme. And I hear some Wike, the governor of Rivers State, should follow the example of the likes of, former governor Peter Odili, the example of Rotimi Amechi, the example of the vice president of Nigeria today, Professor Yemi Oshibajo, and others. The Senate president, Dr. Hamad Lawan, who in failing to get the ticket have shown greater maturity. And then you have one individual in one political party just distracting everybody's attention with his own immaturity. And then in that interview, Governor Wike was trying to teach journalism. He even singled me out. Well, Governor Wike is not in a position to teach Reuben Abati journalism. He calls it investigative journalism. Because we went to do an interview, I put it to him that we asked all the right questions. And I've been in this media space. I've been writing for the Nigerian press since 1985. I don't know where Governor Wike was at that time. And I've been on television every day since the year 2000. Thanks to Professor Pachitomi, President Goodluck Jonathan, and Prince Uduka Obaigbena. Governor Wike does not have the capacity or the intellect to teach me, Reuben Abati, journalism. Okay? If he wants to study my body of work over the several decades behind me, he will spend more than a year just trying to figure out the amount of work that I have done. But I think it's important, for him to moderate his anger and to just allow Nigerians to focus on serious issues. rather than this, self-promotion, this, throwing of tantrums all over the place. And you should look at the example of what people are doing in other jurisdictions where they're talking about ideas. We would like to engage him at the level of ideas, not at the level of his own emotional choices. So people should not think because they are in government, they have a platform, they have the right to just misbehave in the public domain. Because indeed, there are persons who are now saying, what exactly does Governor Wike want? And how far does he want to go? If he is tired of the PDP, he has the option of going to another political party, doesn't he? It's within his rights to do so. But he should not drag people like us who are doing a honest day job into their matter. I don't have a dog in that fight.
So there it is right there. The vexatious interview granted by Wike that led to that, I'll play you that shortly. But you could see the anger, and you could hear also audibly the anger in Reuben Abati's voice, referring to Wike that his eminence was still imminent when he already. So Wike's eminence was still imminent when the Reuben Abati, already had decades of prominence. So it was still up and coming. That means his eminence was still imminent when decades after Reuben Abati already had prominence. That is to say that he was still a small boy, Wike, dropping his trousers to be inserted by oil workers in foreign oil workers in River State when Reuben Abati was already a made man. So you saw now Reuben Abati, of course, the language, the intellect, the education, all of that in play. But Wike crossed the line, and this is how Wike crossed the line. And then his trousers was pulled down again, not to be inserted by oil workers in the River States this time around, but for Koboko to be applied by Reuben Abati. So this was the wayward interview that led to the flogging of Wike.
In this part of our world, when lies are being concocted and you allow it, it becomes, people will say, this is the true fact. I have always believed that when the left speaks, allow the right to also speak. We're not getting younger every day. As the day passes, you get old. And so it is important that when issues are raised or when speeches are made, you should be able to say, look, this is a part of my own story. And so that the public will be able to put everything together and say, look, this is what we have decided, or this is what we say, this is the truth, and this is a lie. It's most unfortunate. Since after our primaries, I have decided to be quiet because this is a party I love so much. I've never said anything. I decided to go back home and focus on fulfilling the remaining promises I made to the people of the state. But there comes a time that people will understand and know the true facts of things. So obviously, when I will speak, it is not in doubt that I will speak and let Nigerians know the actual truth. Having known the truth, whatever they decide to do with it is left for Nigeria. Because you can imagine the the presidential candidate of the PDP, Atiku, when he unveiled his vice presidential candidate. No right thinking, a lover of this party will say that the speech he made on that day was fair. No right thinking lover of this party. Forget about the rent seekers. Forget about the scavengers. And I never reacted to it. I said, look, this party belongs to all of us. Thereafter, he appeared before the Arise television. See the statements he made. So many lies we are told. And then he said, I should not react to some of those issues. That would not be fair. Assuming today I'm not alive, obviously what they have said will be accepted as the truth. Look at his attack dogs. Sule Lamido, Babangida Aliyu, Maina Waziri. Look at the statements they issued. Look at the abuses they rained on me. I never reacted. And Nigerians will say, look, you mean this thing happened? So it is important that as a person and for my own future and for those who are around me, to say, look, this is not fair. This is not fair. So I have to make sure I will react line by line. Statements made by Atiku Abubakar himself and his attack dogs. I will do that. Nobody, though if anybody who lost me will not advise me not to react. Because why would you not react? Look at if a presidential candidate who believes he wants to win election, that somebody who contested fiercely with him has never raised any issue. I just kept quiet, just minded my business. See how my state can move forward. Every day, his people come up to attack me, to say one thing or the other. That's quite unfair. Also, I should let Nigerians to know at the appropriate time, after the commissioning of the projects we have lined up, to say, look, this is correct, this is not correct. So that prosperity, history will be on our side, that we have been able to keep the records straight. And so that nobody should be in doubt whether I'm going to speak on the issue of PDP, on the issue of the primaries, and other related matters. Nobody should be in doubt of that. I'm going to certainly speak. Nigerians will know what happened. Nigerians will know. Those who love this country, Nigerians will know what went behind. And that is to assure you, I want to speak on that. It has nothing to do with whether I like you or not. No, it has nothing to do with PDP. It has to do with putting the facts straight, putting records straight. It's not for me to go and hire journalists and begin to say all kinds of things. No, it's not for that. So certainly I'm going to speak.
Okay, while we wait for you to do that, your party is in the set of a committee, just like the presidential candidate says himself, and they claim they've reached out to them. Can you confirm if they've actually reached out to you?
Again, that's to tell you, you see, when people tell lies, it's most unfortunate. Most unfortunate. I've heard a lot of stories. For example, some senators called me that Atiku Abubakar said he sent Bukola Saraki to be. That is not fair. That is not correct. I was in Spain. Bukola came to me. I said, my brother, how do we settle this problem? I said, where is sending Atiku Abubakar? I said, no. I said, so what do you want me to do? Look at the issue. He said, look, the matter is so serious. He never knew of this, and that. So Abubakar Atiku has never, forget about sending rent seekers around him as scavengers. In fact, some of them will call my friends, oh boy, tell your guy now, they can support us. It has reduced to that level. I've become guy. I've never seen it. We are serious Monday people who reduce issues like this to this level. I mean, people that you see, you don't even know who is the caller. If you see a phone, a call, who is this? Yes, sir. Please, you are doing this party. Please, sir, we're begging you, don't leave the party. Who is talking about the issue of leaving party? I don't even know who is talking to me. Atiku Abubakar came to my house to say I should support him. So he doesn't know my house again. He doesn't know my house. Now people are calling you, those you don't even know, are calling you on phone. Sir, we beg you, please support, all kinds of things. Trivializing issues. No way. I would not accept that. I will not accept that. So Atiku Abubakar cannot say that he has sent anybody to let one person say he came to see me and sent by Atiku Abubakar. Let one person in the party. Talking about those who are running around, looking for how they will survive. They say, oh, we try to call him, he did not pick. I don't know your phone number. You tried to call me. If you tried to call me, it was okay. You sent text. I am this person calling. Please, I want to talk with you. Nobody has done that. Every day I read on pages of newspapers, oh, they send a committee coming to see me, this and this and that and that. I want to tell members of the public, as far as I'm concerned, this party, I love the party. This party, I have been committed and I've been able to build this party. I'm not one of those who are running around the presidential candidate who I want to kiss. I call them rent seekers, scavengers, looking for how they will survive. You see, general election is not primary election. Delegates, where you can bring, like I said, I'm going to speak. And when I speak, Nigerians will know what actually happened. What is the hope for this country? Who are those who love this country? Not by mere talking. Listen, no. Who know? Who know? Because it is there for Nigerians to say, look, see what has happened and see what is going to happen. So, as far as I'm concerned, nobody. In fact, I had somebody told me that the national chairman said he spoke to me with all due respect. He never called me. In fact, my auntie came to me that, national chairman is on the phone. I said, how are you fine? Oh, this and that. So I'm talking when I come back. So let's everybody, since after 29th, 30th of May, not one person has come to talk to me. Forget about hiring journalists, press people like Reuben Abati, who was the former chief press secretary to the president. Sometimes.
Okay, so that was where the line was crossed. So I'll scroll that back just a couple of seconds, just so you capture that again. So that was where the line was crossed when he then went personally after Reuben Abati. And of course, Reuben Abati is already prepped and ready for that sort of scenario from anybody. The grammar, the depth of knowledge, the education, he's always primed that up as a weapon to launch at anybody. But unfortunately, the person that serves himself up is some half-wit from River State. So here is where he crossed the line again.
Has come to talk to me. Forget about hiring journalists, press people like Reuben Abati, who was the former chief press secretary to the president. Sometimes when you read or hear what he says, you're going to wonder, where are we heading to? No more investigative journalism. Nothing like that happened. People just stay from one place, compose stories, say all kinds of things they want to say. But like I said, I remain silent. But I can't continue to remain silent. Nigerians must know what happened. Nigerians must know who are those that love them.
All right. All right. I'll stop that there because I really only wanted him to land on where he referenced Reuben Abati, where you heard him referencing Reuben Abati in a derisory sort of manner, describing him as a former bagman for the former president and somebody that needs to learn about investigative journalism. So, of course, that line was crossed. And you know, Reuben, of course, is always cocked and ready and primed, you know. So, cocked, ready, and primed. And of course, Reuben then gave it to him full barrel. So, Reuben gave it to him full barrel, and you heard him do that. So, the humbling of Wike, of course, and totally now, he knew the line was crossed and he yields and takes a knee. So Wike takes a knee. Wike others agree to support Atiku, vow not to dump PDP. Governor Yemisi Wike of Rivers State and some People's Democratic Party chieftains have agreed to work for the success of the party's presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar in the 2023 general elections. Correspondents understand that Wike and some of his colleagues who are in his camp have agreed to remain in the party and work for Atiku's victory in the forthcoming election. This resolution followed a closed-door emergency meeting held at the Rivers State Governor's Lodge in Abuja on Sunday. Correspondents quoted a member of the PDP National Working Committee who spoke on condition of anonymity, saying that none of the serving former governors was leaving the party as was being rumored. All the party chieftains resolved to work together to address whatever internal crises exist and support the party's presidential candidate towards victory in 2023. So the humbling of Wike is what you saw by Reuben Abati in a masterful masterstroke. So the masterful masterstroke. So I'll land on this last readout and then I'll see who's available. Tinubu El Rufai dropped as APC set to name Lalong or Oshiomhole campaign DG, confirmed Keyamo as spokesman. So I think this may well be a mistake, not using El Rufai because El Rufai is more potent than Oshiomhole, and especially when you need to make an insertion into the north. The leadership of the All Progressives Congress APC has reportedly zeroed in on Governor Simon Lalong of Plateau State and former Edo Governor Comrade Adams Oshiomhole to pick its presidential campaign director general from one of the duo. Correspondents understand that Governor Nasir El-Rufai of Kaduna State, who was earlier favored for the post, was dropped over his religion. Following the backlash the party received from fielding a Muslim ticket, many believed it would be inappropriate to appoint a Muslim as his campaign DG. It was gathered that the presidential candidate of the ruling party, Asiwaju Tinubu, and some APC governors had scheduled a meeting in Lagos to deliberate on campaign council of the APC that is expected to be announced soon. The meeting of the APC stakeholders was initially scheduled for today, Sunday, but has been postponed due to Tinubu's absence. According to correspondents, those pushing for Lalong argued that the APC needs a Northern Christian as DG to assuage the feelings of Northern Christians in the party. However, the oratory and organizational skills of Oshiomhole and his long affiliation with Tinubu may tilt the scale in his favor. Festus Keyamo gets campaign spokesman nod. Leaders of the APC have reportedly chosen the Minister of State for Labor and Employment, Olorogun Festus Keyamo, as the spokesman of the campaign council. Party sources told correspondents that Tinubu and his running mate, Senator Kashim Shettima, have tipped the former minister for the image maker job. The duo, it was gathered, made the call last week when they held a meeting with Keyamo at the Tinubu campaign office and got his nod to do the job, one source said. Speaking on the issue with correspondent, the spokesperson of the Asiwaju campaign organization, Bayo Ononuga, said APC stakeholders will meet over composition of the campaign council. Kiyamo is a member of the media team. He is being proposed as the head of the media team. So yes, of course, because Kiyamo a dogged fighter, as you know, but Oshiomhole also quite competent. But would you say that El Rufai would have been a better choice, Muslim or not? So that's a question for the panelists to decide, and here they are. Ajale Koko, I see you. Joel of Nashville, I see you. And the mighty Ovie Omoagbaje, I see you. So good to see you, gentlemen. So before I come to you, let me go first to Alexander Gomez's super chat. It says, so this is in reference to Abati. He lost his temper, Dr. Abati, just like one man, laugh out loud. So there it is. Yes, Reuben Abati did lose his temper, but he will lose his temper when you see somebody that, and that is Yemse Wike, of course, when you see somebody that you consider not even capable of lacing the boots of the person who laces your boots, talking smack about you. You know the audacity now, because this Humpty Dumpty brandy drinker has been made a governor, and I think that then entitles him to speak to people above his station. Governor or not, Reuben Abati is above Yemse Wike's station, always has been, always will be, just by reasons of being a superior person educationally, familiarly, and all these possible. I mean, what the audacity? Some yam head from the creeks talking smack about Reuben Abati. Can you imagine the audacity? The audacity. Yeah. So the audacity, Alexander, I say you. I mean, audacious. What are you making then? This little runt from River State talking smack about Reuben Abati. Where is this world coming to? Somebody that should be carrying the bag of the person that carries the bag of Reuben Abati, talking smack.
I don't know. It's getting dirty, isn't it? Getting
Yeah,
dirty.
it's going to get ugly. We all know that.
I think. Good morning, first of all. Pardon
Good
my
morning.
manners.
Yeah.
I think that Wike was out of line. It was out of order. I think that he was under an influence. I don't know. It didn't sound totally coherent. Looked like he was drunk in the morning. It looked like that interview was in the morning and he was kind of drunk.
He's
Looked like he
always
was kind.
drunk. He's always drunk, but
Yeah.
carry on, yeah.
So he didn't have a total control of what he was talking about. Abati, on the other hand, came across like a snobbish, overeducated Egbaman. Um, I think he overdid it a little bit. I think he, at the end of the day, should also remember that whether you like him or not, he's still a governor of a state and needs to be respected accordingly. He needed to put him in his place. He did, but I think he went a little bit overboard. That's what I think. He spoke to him in a very condescending manner.
Like a little boy.
Yeah, like a little boy. He spoke to him like in a very condescending manner. If I were Wike, I find it difficult to wake up, to get up from bed if I heard what he talked about me on Rise TV.
It will have to drink even more brandy.
I know, but he set himself up. Unfortunately. But all these elites of the society need to be able to control themselves. I think he was on both sides. It was a little bit overdone, a little bit out of order. I was embarrassed to hear the way Wike was carrying on. But he's a sore loser. He's lost. He needs to move on, like Dr. Abati said. I know he was cheated. He won that primary. He did. But the Northern cabals did what they had to do to push him aside. And he feels aggrieved. He spent a lot of money. He's not going to recover those monies. I think he's going to do whatever he can indirectly for Atiku to lose the election. He sounds very bitter. Sounds very, very bitter. But his stock has gone down this morning because he didn't come across like someone in a very high position in Nigeria. I don't know. They say he's a lawyer. I don't know how that kind of guy can be a lawyer. It just sounds like a half-baked illiterate, you know. So that's my position on that. One man.
All right, brilliant, Alexander. So let me take you to that space then. The humbling of Wike and then the subsequent surrender of Wike. So he has now agreed to sheathe his sword and to work for the Atiku campaign. So he has to say that now because, like you said, he has overplayed his hands. But is anybody fooled? Is it your anticipation that he will work for Atiku's success, but or as you anticipate, he will covertly work to have the final victory?
I think he's too bitter. I think he's too bitter to work in favor of Atiku. I think that he knows deep inside what played out. I think he only knew in the last seconds of the primaries that he was going to lose that when was it Tambuwal that switched over and gave his party voters to Atiku. So what was that guy? Was it Tambuwal?
It was.
Yeah. So he's bitter. He's a bitter person. I can't see him working for Atiku. I think they're trying everything to appease him, but he's too bitter. He looks like someone who doesn't easily forgive. So I don't know how that's going to play out. At the end of the day, I don't want Atiku being president of Nigeria anyway. I think we had enough of this Fulani domination. We need someone else from a different region, preferably someone from the southeast, because that's the most popular consensus right now. An Igbo person needs to be fairly be the president of Nigeria come 2023. Is it going to happen? I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think the big boys are ready for that. Like I said, and I said before, and I'll say it again, until these scallywags, the Atikus and Tinumbus of this world, take a back seat and come to the realization that they've passed their sell-by date, pardon my porn, I think that's the only time that someone who is more credible will take over that space. The election is primarily between Tinubu and Atiku, with Obi having a chance of sneaking in or forcing a re-election. That's the way I see that. But is he going to win, Obi? I don't think so. Seriously, I still think I'm still of the pressure that Obi still needs to pay his dues a little bit. I think he needs to hold a very, very powerful ministerial position and know what it is like.
Is this not him paying his dues though? So he's coming to deep waters now. We know he will sink in this instance, but then it will take the learning to swim up again.
No, I think he needs to. It's my opinion though. I think he needs to play on the national level, hold a very top level ministerial position, and then try and increase his base, so that come the next electoral cycle, he can tap into that. But I what I'm seeing happening, and I've said it before, and I'm sure Jale Koko doesn't like it because I've heard him say, "Oh, this Soludo, you people are always talking about." Whether anybody likes it or not, the newer generation of politicians, the Professor Soludo, a world-class intellect, a master politician, he is going to be a president of Nigeria. I don't see Obi doing that. I see Obi paving the way for Soludo to become president of Nigeria. But he has a lot to offer the country. We really do need politicians with his mannerism and his disposition. You know, a person who can relate to the working class, to the poor, to the youth. Not this over pampered, self-entitled Atikus and Tinumbus of this world. Tinubu is a very humble person based on what I know of him. And I know a lot about him that I'm not supposed to be talking about on this platform because that's personal. But he's a very humble person. There's no way you would, like you said, you confirmed to me before, man. There's no way you would meet Tinubu, you wouldn't like him. He's a likable fella. He's a happy-go-lucky fella. He has greed about him. He wants to. I know he does. He likes to. Enrich himself and his family. But does he have something to offer the country? He does, because he's a wonderful talent hunter. I mean, he can be on top and delegate authority and delegate positions and let people who are experts in what to do, like Obasanjo did.
Is that not the whole point of governance? I mean, nobody is
that is
Superman.
That is, but I think that he's really, people have been saying it, but I don't think they're saying it properly. He has passed the sell-by date. Okay? He's not well. He's struggling. Incoherent. He's incoherent sometimes. We need someone who's sharp. I heard or read Kolata say, I fear he. No, someone said it. I don't know whether it's Kolata. Kolata's pro-Tinubu. I think it was Oga. I fear, what would he do when he goes on the international scene, like the United Nations? How would he come across? That's a concern, because he's past his sell-by date. He's abiding essentially, but he still has a bit to offer. I don't see anything Atiku has to offer, quite frankly. I really don't see.
To Tinubu almost certainly will be managed in the manner that Buhari was managed. You know that the last for a few years, the country was administered in the spirit of Buhari, not in the actions of Buhari, but in the spirit of. Remember, like Mohammed told us, it was a body language sort of a president. So
Yeah.
of that body language, they interpreted what he might want to then administer the state. And that is what will happen with Tinubu as well. So everybody has an idea of his broad philosophical thrust, and his handlers will manage the country along those lines.
I think they were able to manage Buhari well, because he's a dumbo. He's just not a smart person. Obasanjo has said it, and I totally concur. I don't think that guy can even add 12 to 9. That's what I think. I think he's a dumbo, so it's easy to manage a person like that. Tinubu comes with a lot of experience. He's managed the 7th biggest economy in Africa. He's done what, no matter how you look. Let me point something out. People don't seem to understand this. This is the bottom line. The best governor we've had in Lagos State, according to a lot of people, has been Jakonde. The second best we've had in a long time has been Fashola. But whatever Fashola and his successor did were just a follow-up to what Tinubu laid down as a governor of the state. Tinubu put everything in place, and these people just built upon it. That's exactly what happened in Lagos State. I'm speaking with authority. You can quote me.
You know, Alexander, I sometimes query even that assertion that Jakonde was the best governor.
No, I queried that too,
because it's Baba Kekere and they align him with Awolowo, and there's this halo around their head, like they were saints or something. I'm not sure that Jakonde did it. He did Jakonde schools. We have to give them that, and they have same.
Yeah, but then in doing Jakonde school, you had Maryland Comprehensive start having school 1, school 2, school 3, school 4.
Oh my God, that was
awful. In the meantime, the quality of education. Look, whatever we're going through now in Lagos State educationally, per standard, the deterioration was brought upon by Jakonde.
Yes, I agree. And sorry, Alexander, I agree. Due to personal experiences of myself, and by extension yourself as well, our school, we had a tennis court, we had a basketball court, we had a full track.
I played on every one of them.
We had it was a full-fledged best in the world school.
Yes.
And Jakonde came and chopped it up. He cut off all our sporting facility and created some school there that he's called School 2, and then the quality dropped. We used to have milk and chocolate for lunch. Do you remember Samco?
Of course, I remember. Yeah.
And then all of that dropped, and then we were suddenly logging around like lumberjacks, So
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, I know. So I don't know. So Tinubu he has a lot to offer, but he's past his sell-by date. If he can delegate and employ or hire the right people in the right position, we can't have a worse president than what we have right now. Buhari is the worst president Nigeria has ever had the misfortune of calling a president. He is just a dumbo. He talks and he embarrasses me every time he opens his mouth. It gets to a point sometimes when he's talking, I just want to switch over the channel and watch something else. That's how bad he is. So it can't get worse than that. Whoever's going to come, whoever's going to be president 2023 will still be an upgrade from Buhari. Let's hope that this person comes and really want to take the country to where we're supposed to be. Harness our manpower, harness our resources. Let's go ahead and negotiate our loans, and let's start doing what we need to do to take the country back to where it's supposed to be. The single greatest Black country in the world. And I say that with a lot of pride because as a young chap growing up in London, we were like Arabs. They respected us. White girls wanted to date you because you're a Nigerian. It's not like that anymore, unfortunately. But we can still get that because God gave us that, and nobody can take it away from us. So, one man, let me let you continue with your show. And thank you very much for having me.
All right, brilliant. Always a pleasure, Alexander. Join us as often as you can. So that's Alexander Government, of course, dropping a pearl to open up the session. So let me acknowledge Kulatas Super Chart, who, like Alexander Gomez, has found the function of that. Who, like Alexander Gomez, has found the function of that button. It says good leadership is all about vision, execution, and motivation. Delegate to people and share the success. Public speaking is a concern for Tinubu. So a lot of people, thank you for the super chat, Kulata, but a lot of people wrap a lot of narrative around, when Tinubu travels internationally. Look, Tinubu speaks in broad strokes. That is one thing we have to come to accept. He speaks in broad strokes. So it's not the wording and the articulation. It's not Wale Soyinka. So why are you expecting him to be a grammarian? It's not Wale Soyinka. It's certainly not Reuben Abati even. It's not Shino Achebe. So why are you expecting grammar? He speaks in broad strokes, and he speaks in philosophical thrust. So it's philosophical thrust that this philosophically, broadly, is the direction that I see it. So the minions, the technocrats, the eficos, they can then put the padding into the details of that. So I said Agbado and all this kind of it is just foolishness, low wit nonsense. But I thank you for the super chat, Kulata, as I bring on the chaps. So to the chaps, Ovie, the son of Agbaje, of course. Let's go to Ovie now, who now has his hair in an Alice band. So this is quite concerning. But then, of course, it's from the Creeks. Ovie is from the Creeks. Yeah. What is this? All these people from the Creeks. So the back and forth between Wike and Dr. Abati, with Abati then feeling eventually to pull Wike's trousers down and apply Koboko. So raw ass caning for Wike, and he submits. What are you then making then of the
one man, I don't hear you now. Why are you reading my mind by bringing a creek into the thing? I think what I intended to start off with Wike, which is Wike is an example of the classic case of you can take the man out of the creek, but you cannot take the creek out of him. As far as I'm concerned, at this point, what is the difference between him and Asari Tokumbo? He's a governor, Asari Tokumbo now is a king. He just and that goes to show to say yes, Atiku has made the right choice by not putting Wike in his ticket. Because this is how it's going to be nationally.
Sorry, Ovie, but every time Wike speaks, you are more assured that Atiku made the right choice. Every time he speaks, yes. It's like MC Oluomo.
Unfortunately, yes. I mean, that's it's just, and again, that is rants. apart from him attacking Abati, he also went ahead and attacked Sule Lamido. That is a very costly mistake in the person of Lamido. In the whole North, who, let me even narrow it to the PDP household. Lamido stand tall. A couple of weeks ago, you asked, throw this question out there, who is going to inherit the followership of what's his name, the President Buhari? If not, other than the fact that it was supposed to be Sule Lamido and Konkoso. But the difference between Konkoso now and Sule Lamido is that when Sule Lamido had an opportunity to become governor, minister, and all that, he focused on the elite and his household. Because currently, two of his sons are either one is going for governor, one is going for house about and all that. So that is the only thing that northern people actually have against him, which is nothing, but as far as I'm concerned, that is where Konkoso have the upper leg by going with the Talakawas. That man is a very well-respected man within the northern atmosphere. You don't just call him Atiku's backing dog or whatever. That is going to cost him. And again, with the way he's going, you know, remember I said it before, way before the when they were campaigning for this primary presidential candidate of the team. I said Wike we beg, and I'm not going to take my word, but Wike we beg as time goes on, because that will come to the realization that I don't do shit for everywhere. And again, the way it's going is it might end up losing everything. Losing everything means that it might end up losing the governorship in the states. His candidate might end up losing because the Jagaban at Tinubu is already a play in Rivers State via Magnus Abbey, who just joined the SDP, and the ticket was given to him. And we all know who run SDP. Now I think what's his name? Jagaban. So with that thing coming in and with the pressure of the APC coming in, I see him losing that governorship election in Rivers State. It's just so, it's at this point, I mean, what does he want? Who is he? Who will he be? The money you are spending, I mean, subject to is debatable, but that's Rivers State money. You know, who your money they spend and you run your mouth anyhow. I mean, I like the way Wike respond to
you know, Ovie, Abati hinted at that in his commentary that he's spending all this money, nobody knows where it comes from.
Yes.
Which is to invite you to say that, you know, my God, he picked the wrong person to fight. He did.
It's just, and I like the way he responds, but I would have preferred Abati to hand over that street to what's his name? The obedient superstar journalist, Rufai. It would have been more funny if you had to Rufai, maybe Rufai that set up. Because it's in a way, they don't pass that level.
Sorry, Ovie, to keep interrupting you. But you said you brought Rufai's name in, so thank you for doing that. But what you've done now is to highlight the difference that I was trying to make to Emmanuel just in that conversation. That Reuben Abati, he has killed this guy completely, but with elegant language. But yes. Rufai, he will be looking for claws to be digging. He's just a youthful, exuberant something now. Rufai is a small boy. But sorry, carry on.
I would have loved to see him giving the script to Rufai, maybe Rufai that set away, because that's what he's good at, you know. But nevertheless, he has made it clear that the road he's trying to, you know, to take is a dangerous one. You can fight all your political colors as you want. You can't be fighting journalists. By the time they start putting you on the news, it never finish. And these people work across the board. They are friends, they are relatives as far as media is concerned. So he's getting out of hand. Well, in a way, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. As I said, he's still going to come around and beg these people that is, taking for granted. He's salty. You are hungry. I mean, why is he even angry as far as I'm concerned? Who you be? And you get the party. People will get parties in that waiting we won't be this. Go and sit down. You are just one person among them, and that's what Sule Lamido told him. The party is bigger than you, and that's a fact. Who you be? You are a governor today. They made you a governor. Whatever you have achieved politically, the party made it for you. But just because you tried the first shot and you lost, then that doesn't mean the end of the world. Before you know it, another 4 years, 8 years will be here. What are you going to be saying? Who are the people you're going to rally around on? The people that you throwing under the bus now. It's just ridiculous. As I said, a trick man, and it's becoming obvious by the day. I don't see him now and my good friend Asare Tokubo. I clearly put them in the same class in terms of how they act in public.
All right, Ovie. So you said Wike has been humbled, and it looks as though he certainly has been. Wike others agree to support Atiku, vow not to dump PDP. So is this now the humbling that we've been anticipating for this guy? So enough noise from him. Is this the last noise we're going to? This is or something at the airport. The last noise now. And can he even recover from this? Did he push it too far? And can you recover?
Recovery come, no, but I know he will beg. Will they forgive him? That I cannot say. I don't expect Atiku to actually sit down with him one-on-one in terms of reconciliation. If he has that intention before, I think that is off the table the way he's doing it. But I mean, the question is that what do you want? What is expected to give him? They should take Okowa out and give it to him, or they should give it like I don't understand at this point. It's just a sour loser. There's nothing that is going to come out of this. I said it earlier on that they put him in on his place. The owner of now people get party. I keep saying that it's a private entity. Millions of dollars and nairas have been invested in this party by people. He obviously is not one of them. He's just somebody who fits the bill at the right time. And when the time comes, the people will get party come and they put him in his right place. That's how party politics work. Who are you ranting to now? Me and you who don't have any power. What are we going to do? Nothing. We cannot help you. So stop ranting. Go indoor and rant to your men who they can see reason with you. But coming out in public and spilling all this nonsense, the public cannot help you. What we go do now? Only vote we go vote. And when that time comes, now pay money pass. Now they go vote for. And indeed, if you allow this these two parties to come against you in Rivers State, you are not going to survive it. Atiku is not, what's his name? Amechi is not just going to lay low and say, well, yes, I've lost everything and it's not going to fight. It's going to fight. Yeah, he's the candidate. Go. As I said, Jagaban, his foot is right in Rivers already. Via Abe is right there. So there is every possibility that if he continues like this, even the governorship candidate is going to elude him. And
you know, a lot of heads will be chopped off in this 2023 elections, and one of those heads will be Wike because he handled that place wrongly all the way through. He wasn't the one that suffered the only loss. Oshibando was humiliated, so he's going to hide away to lick his wounds. Wike was humiliated. He's gone away to hide his wounds. And Lawan was humiliated. He's gone away to lick his wounds. You know, a lot of people humiliated, they've gone away to lick their wounds because they know that, you know, because they are all looting from the Nigerian state. They are all of the same thing. They are all thieves now. So if a thief steals from a thief, there's honor among thieves, but he's not gotten that code because he's surrounded himself with sycophants and they've made him believe that he's more than he is. And the humbling of him now by some random journalist, Reuben Abati.
Yes, the simple credit, I mean, the small as when he build, only he use himself, scatter. He don't go shit for North Central, via Aliu with Niger State. Now he don't go shit for Northwest with via the Sule. Then he has already done shit for Southside himself because he called all the Edos. They asked us where our papa, but we are waiting to show who our father is at the right time. So this man, he can't go to Delta, obviously. Even in the Northeast, the only man he has in the Northeast is what's his name? Kwesi or something. That governor of is it Umahia or whatever? I'm sorry that I'm not getting the name of the state right now, but. It does shit everywhere around the country, and I'm disappointed because there's a little hope. Say yes, we are going to have fresh, younger people at the aim of in charge of PDP when these old men like Sunday Lamido, Atiku Abubakar, and the rest, when they are fading out within the next couple of years. People like Wike, we have a very strong foothold in the big party, but he has destroyed everything. I am like truly from Niger Delta. I'm disappointed. I didn't expect him to still be going. For me, because this primary election, the biggest loser is the vice president. But he happened to do it with calm. I say, okay, I'll be Baba Jaja, I'll be star boy. Tomorrow is still there for me. You keep calm. Amechi, that he was everywhere in the north, giving time to do everything. He was end up being put aside. The man just say, okay, there's tomorrow. I get ages on my side. I will look forward to tomorrow. But why him? Why him? Why your source of income is being questioned by everybody, every Nigerian, and you hear just the rah. Game don't pass when ordinary Nigerian man would hear you say yes. You don't pass. You raise the issue of tax collection in Nigerian space, and everybody give you that credit. I was so proud of it. Say yes, even if you don't achieve what you raised, but you have put a question there that question needs to be answered as time goes on. But all this is doing is just I'm disappointed for you. I'm not happy with the guy. You should shut up.
You know, when it gets to the heart of it, you see the quality of a man. So I think the quality, the inner core of what Wike is what we're saying now. But Ovie, let me take you to another talking point. But first, let me acknowledge a super chat. This is from one of your fan clubs, Joseph K. He says, greeting Ovie. No matter how it is on politics.
So, yeah, but it's playing a bad one. It's playing a bad politics. I agree on our politics, but I don't think that will help him on the long run.
All right. So a note from one of our Ovie's fans. Greetings, greetings Ovie, no matter how it is on politics. So thank you for the support at Joseph K. As I take you to this space now, Ovie. El Rufai dropped as APC set to name Lalong or Oshiomhole campaign DG, confirmed Keyamo as spokesman. So the confirmation of Keyamo as spokesman, I agree with that. Somewhat of an inspired choice because he's a dogged fighter. You know, it's a dogged, if he can fight ugly, and you have to fight ugly in this space. Oshiomhole too, quite competent, but I thought the northern space was the space of attack. Tinubu being a southerner, and he really needed to make as much incursion in the north as possible. El Rufai being a senior in the north, and the northwest being the largest voting bloc in the country, is it a misstep to narrow to the exclusion of El Rufai, the DG of Tinubu's campaign? Ovie.
Okay, before I come to El Rufai, on Keyamo, I think his dream of one day becoming the governor of Delta State or becoming Chief Justice of Nigeria just has the boost. I think he's going to use it to his best. He's going to take advantage of that portfolio they just gave him. Work really hard for his own future. That's what I think for me so far. That's the best appointment the Bola Tinubu campaign organization has made so far. Yes, El Rufai. I don't think it's a mistake because, contrary to what everybody is saying, El Rufai no be politician that did not reckon with anytime. I mean, it's like in a Abuja politician to start with. So yes, El Rufai is pro-North. That cannot be disputed. But when it comes to the criminal doctrine of politicians in the North, forget El Rufai no counts. So I don't think it made a mistake by doing that. But again, that is the effect of Kunkoso in the Northwest. I've been saying the Northwest is gone. There's nothing Bola Tinubu can do over there again. So for him to make that decision, I think that's a very calculative decision he made. But I think I don't know why he's excluding Bagudu, the governor of Kebbi State. That man is a titan in that region. I think he will not able to do much, but he will do more than anybody that has been appointed so far. Even to that of Shetima. I expect him to even take a Bagudu rather than Shetima. But yes, I don't omitting El Rufai is not a mistake. It's a well-calculated decision. And of course, what is the relationship between Atiku and El Rufai and Tinubu? We all know politically in a cat and dog, they are both opposite of the spectrum. So if and again, that's to go ahead to tell you what I've been telling you. I think he knows that. It would have been so easy for what's his name, El Rufai, to work against him on the ground. It would have been very easy. So because I know he's not going to, he still won't favor from the northern elite. Whether we like it or not, that's El Rufai now. He hasn't satisfied his role as one of the men to reckon with in the north yet. So I think Tinubu sees all that and he put that into consideration to make a decision. I think I respect that. His choice of Oshiomhole, I don't know, man. What is the difference between Oshiomhole and Wike says?
Right, that's another, I think it's a short man thing, don't these short people, short man devil.
At the time when power they shock my uncle, he said, bro, begin go crazy. Anyway, they said now, why ain't gonna go? They said I go Rucha to Furucha. He did an excellent job, finish him. They said I go Amusu for Auguste. He did an excellent job, he finished. So I mean, it's not, as far as I'm concerned, there's not much difference between these two people. But yes, you can't take his personality away from him. When he can rest with the occasion when it matters more. He has that oratory, he has everything. I mean, he's a labor man. He knows everything from the grass to the top. So he can wiggle his way about. I don't see how much effect it's going to bring to the campaign organization. I think for me, it's not the right person. I think they went for there's a governor that I went for in the north from your reading, if I'm not mistaken.
Samuel Lalong.
Samuel Along. Why you know Kara as vice president? If you know say the issue
because
of
it doesn't come with votes. It does. That's as simple as that. It doesn't come.
Well,
with votes.
okay, but I mean, is that your own way of appealing to the Christian not that
FUCK the Christians? So
why you don't give why you don't Kara give Babacheri Lawal?
He has no voters. He has no voters. It's a numbers game now. It's a numbers game.
Oh my God, it's going to be very interesting. So far the campaign team is not solid as I expected. As a ruling party, as a man who has been in the trench for the beginning, I think he could have done better than the character is assembly right now. But right, the only one I expect there is Keyamu. Keyamu will stand for him, naturally, but and for the fact that his political future is still very bright. He has so many positions that he can take advantage of. So he will work religiously for the campaign organization.
All right, brilliant. All right, brilliant, Ovie. Thank you, Ovie. So, Ovie, for ever the pressure of time, let me go from you to Ajanle Koko, the mighty one, to hear his take on the narrative. So, Ajanle Koko, hopefully you're there. Ajanle Koko, are you there?
I'm here, woman.
All right, brilliant. Good to have you. Before I come to you, Ajanle Koko, let me acknowledge Kulata's super chat, who says Bagudu Abata's money bag that got arrested in the United States. So you'll be surprised how much money this guy negotiated to have some money seized from him and from the Nigerian state and to keep the rest under the monies that he stole from Abacha. But how much was those monies? Hundreds of millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars. And these are the people now that are straddling state houses. Bagudu, Abata's money bag, got arrested in the United States. So there it is.
No, let me just take a few minutes of your time to respond to that Kulata tweet. Yes, that is something that is out there in the public. It's not deniable. But it should also understand that in today's Nigerian politics, one of the requirements is that you must be accused, you must be facing whatever before you can even have the audacity to compete for any position. So all of them are guilty of this thing that he just put out there. It's not synonymous to him. But that is even the more reason if you bring him, he has money to spend. I know they himself get money. But because of the money
are you surrendered to that? Is that what you're saying?
That what? That he has money to throw.
No, that we should be surrendered to the fact that a state governor stole it was the money back for stealing in excess of $500 million from Atiku with Abata.
No. I'm not saying we should surrender, but at this point, we the masses will never get power to control what happens in that space. They control everything. They set the rules. They go by it. So 99% of the people that in our electoral position today have been accused one way or the other. That's what I'm just trying to point out. I'm not saying we should excuse it, but what can we do with the followers? We don't get money to contribute to any candidate, to contribute to any party, to raise our money. So until we get to that stage, these people will still, be taking advantage of us and do whatever they can, do and undo. So everybody is accused. I'm not saying he's lying or anything. That's a fact. But again, that's the more reason you should involve him.
All right. Yeah. Ovie, for time, let me go on to Ajanle Koko, and to start Ajanle Koko off then with the savaging, the slaughtering of the wayward Cross River and Delta man by the man from is it Ekiti or wherever, Reuben Abati versus Wike. There was only ever going to be one winner, Ajanle Koko.
Yeah. Thank you, woman. Good morning, afternoon, evening to our listeners around the world. click on the like button, share, subscribe if you haven't done so. One man, let us put it in the right perspective. As the scenario happened from one to the other. Number one was Wike's address, which he attacked, what do you call this guy? Reuben Abati. That happened last Friday. And number two was the actual report that you brought that Wike and others have agreed to support Atiku. I don't know if they have agreed to support Atiku because the video I watched, they didn't mention that they are supporting Atiku.
This came out the 1st of August, which is today, 2:35 a.m. So the latest developments.
Yeah, that was according to the source. That was what your report said. According to the source, they did not make the statement. They didn't make it categorically that they are supporting Atiku. In their own statement they make before the media, they said they are resolved to work for the party. They were silent on mentioning Atiku. They did not say, yes, we are supporting the candidate of the party.
Well, the party is only doing one job. So what
yes. One man. Yes. And that shows for them not mentioning candidate. It shows that they have not resolved the problem between their group and that of Atiku. So the problem has not been resolved, but I think because of the speculation flying around everywhere that maybe Wike and his group might work against the party, or they go into APC, or they go into another party, I think they came out to clear the air on that. So on Atiku, they were very silent. So that tells me that the issue between Wike and his group and that of Atiku and the leadership of the party have not been resolved. So that is number two. Then number three is the Abati coming into the show. Abati acted very, very wrongly. He shouldn't have acted like that. He actually acted in such a way that I would describe him as a coward. He's a coward that reacts like that. You are one of the leading journalists in the country. You are known all over the world. All Nigerians know you as a leading journalist. They know your worth. They know what the job. They watch you on the TV every day. So I don't know why he cannot handle it maturely. Politicians, when they are playing their game, it shouldn't come in between politicians, because all that is said indicate or can be perceived as if he's taking side. That is as if it's one-sided. So he should have left Wike alone, and maybe one day they will have opportunity to sit Wike down and they can ask him hard questions. That is what Abati should have done. So Abati did not.
When Wike attacked him personally,
Abati did not act in. I mean, I don't think he followed the ethics of his profession in the way and manner that he responded to Wike, to Wike's statement. Wike, Abati have not even demonstrated. Wike is right. Has Abati ever shown any class of investigative journalism? Has he ever?
He's not an investigative journalist. He's a reporter.
It's a presenter. It's a sit down like Dundu Anata. When it comes to the time for him to ask hard questions from, I mean, at a particular time that on a show that people are more interested to see him show his class, he always fizzle out. He always compromise. The interview he granted with Buhari, he was just sitting down like Dundu, and the other one sitting down like Atta, and they allowed the president Buhari to overwhelm them. They disappointed Nigerians. The same thing he did with Atiku. When he had the opportunity to have hard questions, they allow the interviewee to overwhelm them. So what is their role? What is the role they are playing as journalists?
I'm sure you are aware that parameters are set around these interviews before they are agreed to.
Should they agree to that?
Well, if they don't agree to that, then they don't get the exclusive.
Should they? In what way will Atiku grant an interview? Atiku, in what way will that help their organization to grow?
Atiku? Well, Atiku
in what way? In what way?
No. And I'll answer.
Okay.
Atiku is the leading presidential candidate of the country where their business is domiciled in. Everybody in the country wants to hear his thoughts on matters pertaining to the country. So anybody that is opportune to ask questions and have him present on their platform, then that person is fortunate.
So when they had the opportunity to sit down with Atiku and ask him a hard question, they failed.
No, they didn't fail.
Forget about parameter. Forget about parameter, one man. When you can sit down in the video, I mean, in the studio, you are showing class, you blow big grammar, and you're showing that yes, you are the best of the best in journalism. But when it's time for you on the field to act and do your job well in such a way that is expected of you, and then you fail, and then you want to come out and be attacking Wike, it's a. I mean, Abati got it wrong. He got it wrong entirely.
Wike is a softer target now. Wike is irrelevant, so they can beat him up.
Okay, Wike is irrelevant, but I am telling you, he have lighting a torch for attack, for more attack to be rained on him, and I am raining my own attack on him now, my own opposition against it, because when the chiefs are down and people expected him to perform well, they always fail. So they should not just sit down in their goddamn studio and be blowing grammar and be showing class as if yes, they are doing the best job. But when it gets to the time, you're meeting all these criminals that destroyed the economy and destroyed our political evolution in that country, you cannot, when you meet them and we expected of you to ask a hard question, relevant question, then you will sit down and be looking at their face and be talking gently, and you will sit down like a dog. When you ask the dog, just sit down there, and they're looking at them as if they don't it have no class and nothing to do. So Abati, I think he got it wrong for him to go after Wike. He should have left Wike alone. He should have looked for opportunity.
But Abati has an ego equal. He has an ego equal to, if not greater than, Wike's. So maybe
then that is where how can a journalist be showing ego? We want you to show the class of your professionalism, and particularly when you are at a particular time when you have somebody of importance in front of you. Show your class by asking hard questions. That is what we want from him. So it just to me, I think he got it wrong entirely. He shouldn't have gone after Wike. He should have left Wike alone. He should have reached out to Wike and said, okay, you said in your video, in your statement some few days ago that you want to talk. You have a lot of things to reveal. And you come to the studio and let us hear from you.
Let me ask you a question, Ajane Koko. If Donald Trump had singled out the let's say CNN journalist Don Lemon for personal attack, when Don Lemon goes on air the next time, do you think he would take that on and milk it or not?
Let me tell you, one man, the dirty politics they play in America is different from the dirty politics that the media houses in America play. Is different from the politics that we play in Nigeria. Our media houses doesn't play dirty politics like the way American media houses play their own dirty politics by supporting one candidate of a particular party against the candidate. We know those mainstream media that are pro-Democrat, and we know those ones that are pro-Republican. So they will always go after each other candidate. We know what they do. And when it comes to the candidate like Don Lemon you're talking about, when it comes to the candidate of Democratic Party, they will pamper them, they will ask soft questions, they will do but when it comes against the Republican candidate, they go frontally against them. We know the way they do here, but Abati, we don't do that in Nigeria. So, but Abati has always shown class. With that is a Rice News show and Rufai and this thing, when they are in their studio, they speak BB grammar, they talk all sorts of nonsense to show to the people that they are television of raping. But when it comes to the real time, when you have a big personality, politician, a big personality in front of you, and when you're supposed to ask hard questions relevant to the situation in the country, they fail. So they compromise. These are one of those people that fail the media, the press in Nigeria, when they are expected to act in the best interest of the people, but they will rather turn around against the people and try to package this politician to make them look good. That is what all these Reuben Abati and all this nonsense we have everywhere. That's what that is what they know to do best. They don't
do you think
hard question. They don't do their job right. They don't carry out investigative journalism. They don't do anything for the interest of their country. They compromise the ethics of their profession, and that is why you see these politicians, slam hammer on them, carry out rules or regulation and all this nonsense in an effort to suppress them all the time, because they cannot stand up for themselves. People that cannot stand up for their profession, how would they stand up for with the people?
But we are criticizing Abati for standing up for himself.
Well, Is it for look, it's standing. That is why I said he got it wrong. People that cannot stand up for the people, they talk in the studio as if, yes, every matter of the people, I mean, every issue matter most to them, and they will discuss it, they will big grammar. But when it comes to interview all these corrupt politicians and ask our country from them, they will fail to do that. So they have already compromised the ethics of their profession. Abati got it wrong. He should have done it in another way by inviting Wike to studio or wherever they want to meet him, then go and ask questions from him. Because Wike, in that in his statement, he said he has a lot to tell Nigerian people. That is what they should have gone after. That is what they should have pursued, to get him so that they can say something on their channel and not to attack him. So what it means, so what about Abati? So if another politician go after him tomorrow, so he will respond by attacking that person again. So if another one go after him, so is that the way he's going to be acting? I mean, Abati got it wrong. He didn't. If he's listening to us now, he should see himself. He should know that what he did was completely wrong. It's not good. It doesn't show a very good public image of him. He is mature than that. He should have handled it well. He should have just invite Wike one way or the other, than let him reveal to the country all that Wike has been saying that he wants to tell the country. That is what he should have done, as far as I'm concerned, one man.
So should Wike have gone after Abati in the manner that he did, to the point of lecturing him on journalism?
What Wike said, there's nothing wrong. He said Abati should carry out investigative journalism. And he said Atiku lied a lot in that interview. What is wrong? Nothing wrong. So when he said he should carry out investigative journalism, he is somehow inviting him, investigate on what Atiku is saying, inviting him, come to me, come and hear the true side of the story. That is what signifies to me. That is what that statement. That is what it signifies. It's inviting him indirectly. Come and hear the truth from me. Come to me, and you will hear the true side of my own and our groups. You come to me and hear the true situation, and don't just listen to Atiku lying to you on the interview. Come to me and come and interview me, and you will get the truth. So Abati, no, he got it wrong as far as I'm concerned. Some people might not agree with me, but that's the way I see him. He's a well-respected person. He's a highly highly placed professional journalist. Why should he ridicule himself by jumping in between politicians' fight? I mean, this is the problem going between Wike and Atiku. It's a party issue. They're gonna resolve it. Don't put your head in their fight. Leave them alone. Do your own job. You are a professional journalist, and just do your own job in such a professional manner, and just and leave the rest. Let politicians attack each other. They will do that, and tomorrow they will come again as one family, raise themselves, hand up, and then hug and drink together and stuff like that. He knows the game. Abati knows the game. He's been involved. He has worked for the president before as a spokesperson for the president, and he has contested as a vice governor for Ogun State on the platform of PDP. He knows how the game plays. What is he playing? Is he partisan? Is he anti Wike, is he in Atiku's group fighting using the Arise News to fight against Wike? I mean, it didn't do well, man. It got it wrong, as far as I'm concerned.
All right, brilliant. All right, thank you, Ajale Koko. So before I take you to the next talking point, let me acknowledge our Kulata super chat. It says, no discussion on Dave Umahi's Senate run updates. So I'm not quite sure. I have no updates on that, but maybe in the course of today, maybe we'll find out more.
Yeah, he got the ticket. He won the primary, the Kangaroo primary they organized. He secured the ticket for Senate seat now. So he defeated others in contest with him. So he won the primary.
So that space has been open for Ahmed Lawan to also go and bully the other boy.
Let's see what is going to happen. But politicians just want to satisfy their own ambition in any way they can get it, either in a very crooked way whatsoever. They don't care. But the law is clear. Maybe the law will go after him, but let's wait and see what's going to happen.
All right, brilliant. So to the space then, the DG for Tinubu's campaign, the name that they were conjuring with El Rufai, but they've jettisoned that for reasons of just this backlash against the Muslim ticket, and they're looking at Samuel Lalong or Oshomole, but they've settled for the spokesperson, the media face will be Festus Keyamo. So what are you making then of these choices, Ajale Koko?
Well, it just that's telling me that Tinubu is not handling the crisis in the party well. The Christian leader in that party are still bitter with the Muslim ticket. He has not reached out to them. He's launching a campaign team and is now putting Christian as the head of the campaign. So it is the Christian that are the messenger when it comes to the job of messenger. So they can recognize the Christian to do the job. But when it comes to appointment for a position of power, Christians are not recognized, because the two can be the two persons that mentioned this, Lalong and that guy from
Oshomole.
No, it's not Oshomole. Who is that? That lawyer Keyamo. Yes. So Keyamo and Lalong, both of them are Christians. So Christians can be his messenger to go and campaign for him to rise to the position of presidency. But the good position is not good. The vice presidential position is not good for Christian. So Tinubu, I'm surprised that he has not handled the matter of the Christians well. And whether they like it or not, they might look at them and see if they are not relevant, or the Muslim vote matter most in the north. But those votes of the Christian could, if it's not given to him in large number, it could cost him the election. So I don't know whether he still have a plan, or maybe he's reaching out to Babachir Lawal and the rest, because in the recent video that I watched last week, Babachir Lawal and the other Christians at a town hall meeting lay out every position of authority in the north that indicate the way Christians are marginalized, are grossly marginalized. Many positions of authority in the educational sector, all appointments in educational, in all the tertiary institutions, both in the state, both in federal institution, every structure of government, how Muslims are the one that dominated everything. Like out of like some position, out of 30 positions, Christian we only get like 3 or 5, and the rest going to be Muslim. So, and we have seen a situation, they indicated a situation where only in APC that we seen a situation where governor will drop Christian vice governor or deputy governor that served with him in the first term of office and replace that person with Muslim governor in the second term of office. They stated about 3 or 4 states where those happen. So, and these people are bitter. They are bitter. They've seen all these things that have been happening in APC, and they are not happy about it. That why should they remain in a party that consistently and continually marginalize them on the basis of their religion? No. So Tinubu going ahead to appoint this, well, he has to do what he has to do, but at the same time, I don't know what he's doing. Maybe he's trying to reach out to them, maybe he's trying to pacify them one way or the other, but I've not seen the signal yet. So now, this new appointment, 2 Christians as the leadership of the campaign tells me, yes, when it comes to messenger work, the Christian will do it for them, but political power, no, they have it. Not for Christian in their party. That is what that indicates to me, one man.
All right, brilliant. Thank you, Ajale Koko. So thank you, Ajale Koko. Let me go on from you, Ajale Koko, for this of time to Joel. Hopefully still there. So Joel, are you there?
I'm here.
All right,
good morning.
Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. As Unandekano has now made famous, you know. So so good to have you, Joel, as always. So now the controversy now between Yemson Wike and the arrogant journalist Reuben Abati, there was only ever going to be one winner, and a thorough flogging then applied to Yemson Wike. So the humbling of the River State man, what says you, Joel?
I think I like the drama. Sometimes it's just good, you know, to get the drama from these guys. Sometimes, you know, Reuben Abati would have handled it better. He is the one in the public space. He is the one that has more pedigree. He is the one that has more to lose. Wike is just Wike is a misfit in government. I like his guts. I mean, I like his courage. But Wike does not come out as someone that, you know, you would be proud to call your president. So I would have loved to see Abati, you know, handle it, you know, more maturely, you know, and I think like one of the contributors said, extend that olive branch to him and say, hey, come on, okay, what is it that you want to say? And you can use that as your breaking news. But I think on the other hand, you know, because you see, actions and reactions are one and the same. The way we can put that investigative journalism thing, knowing full well how these things are done, there is no way Atiku, if Atiku wanted a live interview, they would have, you know, granted him that. But you would see Atiku, and you know, Wike is in the political space. He knows that, these things are really, really programmed. There are questions they're going to tell him not to, they're going to tell them not to ask, so all those things. So why are you making it look like, Reuben Abati did something so bad? I mean, we've seen them with other candidates that were open to questions like Peter Obi. They were open to ask him every question they wanted to ask him. And those questions Nigerians want to hear, and Peter Obi answered those questions. And whether you like it, responses or not, well, at least he came out there to answer. But Atiku is not that kind of person, and you know the kind of party you're in. So trying to put it on Reuben Abati was kind of mischievous. But Abati should have, managed it very well.
All right. Do you think Abati needs to rein in his ego a little bit? Because for me, this is strike two. Do you remember the incident when one of his colleagues was calling him Reuben, and he went on a tirade to lambast this girl, to humiliate her, and now a sitting governor tries to call him to order, and he goes on a tirade to lambast him as well. So do you think this guy's ego is getting ahead of him somewhat? Do you think he needs to be
yes.
Yes.
I wanted to make a reference to that, regarding to his conduct, as regards to how he carries himself sometimes, in those interviews, he appreciates his doctor, the title doctor, so much that he can go to war for it. The response he gave that lady was not right. It was condescending. It was there was nowhere to explain it. And I'm also thinking that if that same interview were granted by someone, maybe say a CNN from the United States, granted him an interview, they're not going to go by those titles. Sometimes they might just call him his name. But you see, again, we come from a culture where respect is revered. So I can see where his tantrum is coming from, but it's not justified in any way. That is his ego trying to get in his way.
Do you think he considers himself the main event when it's only really a conduit? It's a conduit. It's a portal for us, the public, to get to whoever the person he's speaking to is. But I suspect, thinks he's actually the main event, this Abati character.
Look, there's no way. See, this guy was in PDP, or he's still in PDP. I don't know. Or even if he's not in the party, he has some sympathy for the party. So I'm always thinking that he's going to. He already has a candidate in his mind, and going by, what my feelings tells me, I think it's Atiku Abubakar. But for him, look, he is in the public space. He will always do what he got to do to, keep it moving. But one thing you cannot take away from Abati, because he worked for Guardian, I think at the time, worked with my auntie, at Guardian. He is a brain. He's an asset to the nation. We are not perfect beings by any means, but you know that Abati, you will always want to sit down and listen to an Abati speak. He got his stuff together, but I'm just hoping, moving forward, he will be able to, yeah.
Look, stop praising Abati. He's not an asset to the nation. One man can do a better job than him. What is it that is doing on that table that you cannot do, or one man cannot do? What is he doing? He just sit down on the table every day and be talking grammar. Is it grammar that you want to chop?
That's just TV, man. This guy has been writing. I've been reading.
Forget about his writing. Let him go back to writing. Then let him go and be writing, and not be attacking governor you know, making mockery of himself on national TV. He
But
ridiculed
the
himself,
governor
man.
ought to respect himself too, right? The governor ought to respect himself because the governor, holds an exalted position as well, right? So the governor also
The,
have to respect himself. That's
the,
why I
the,
said it's a
the
two-way
governor
thing.
invited him for investigative journalism. He said he should investigate. So the governor opened a line for him to come and investigate what Atiku
Well,
is saying.
he
So
wasn't clear. He wasn't clear with that.
yeah,
You are the one making that
that is
insinuation
what
for
that
him.
indicates.
No, you are
Yeah.
making the insinuation for him. You are making the insinuation for him. That
Oh
is
yeah.
not what he said. He made a blanket statement that he should go on and do some investigative journalism based
Okay.
off what his is the interview with Atiku was, or how it went.
Is
So
that
what I'm saying
offensive?
is
Does
that
that sound offensive
oh no
to
no no
you?
no.
Does it sound offensive?
Wike was a little bit condescending. If you know Wike and his choice of words, you will know that Wike was
No. I'm asking
condescending
you, Jerry.
with.
Does that sound offensive to you for
Oh no, it
Abati to
does.
respond the way he responded?
Oh, the way he addressed Abati, will always, get such response, or even worse than that. If
No,
Abati wasn't on
I
no,
don't want him
no.
anymore on that
Hold
table.
on, hold on.
I want one man to go and replace him on that
Yes,
table. One
yes.
man can do the better job than Abati on
And
that arise table. So
all I will need is audio, and the rest of them we can
I
circle on them.
want one man
And
and
audio,
are you going to
one man.
get
Hold on.
Are you going to get married?
Look, I want one man there and Rufai. If we have one man and have Rufai,
no.
that station will be the best in the world.
Do you think that Rufai and one man will share one stage, one podium? They're going to fight
both of them
on
are
this.
very.
I will slap him.
Hold on. Both of them are very, very interrogative. Rufai is very interrogative, and that's why you can see when they are going to meet all these corrupt leaders, they don't take Rufai along because they know Rufai will ask a hard question.
But you see, from the business point of view, you wouldn't want to have a show where you have only the stick. You should also have the carrot approach too. You also have to create a balance. So if you have an interrogative person like one man, you should also have someone that is a little bit maybe like Saki Father.
Like,
that can compromise.
You have to balance it because if you leave one man and Rufai on one show, you're not going to see no politician on that show.
There will be
Do you know
blood.
that it is no? You know that most politicians avoid Rufai like a plague. They avoid going to that show. So that is why when people like Peter Obi goes there and survives Rufai without even showing any emotion, I feel proud about him. Look, go and listen to some of his interviews. Some of the interviewers, like this one, like that guy that left for LMPP. I don't know if you remember that guy, that APC guy that left for ANPP.
Angai Galoli. So is that?
Yeah. Go and listen to his interview with Rufai. Man, he almost went off. Like he tickles them so badly. So we cannot have
Joel, just two asides before you carry on. Two asides. I'm not a real fan of Rufai because he does what I call gotcha politics. Gotcha. GOTCHA. So he's always looking for a gotcha. He's just out to get people, which is not the point. But so that's my own thing on a more light-hearted space.
But you do the same thing here, one man. You try to get people to.
No.
People. You do. What are you talking about, one man?
On a more light-hearted space, since you brought the name Audio up, just ignore the age, ignore the age. But who would you delight in more? Ignoring the age, who would you delight in more? Audio or Bianca Ojukwu?
Oh no. Bianco Juku is a
It's a classic, a classic.
she's a class. Oh
Yes.
no, she's on the level of her own. I mean,
Yes.
she used to. I mean, I think that's an unfair comparison.
Hmm.
I would think you would have said OG and Tundu. Then that would have been
No,
a fair
no.
comparison.
No, that's not
I
fair
mean,
now
oh,
because
it's
Oji
fair.
is
It's fair.
better. Oji is better than Tondo now by far.
No. To you, I no. I'll go for Tundu.
No. You are just being. You are trying to be
Oh,
balanced.
I'm not. I'm just telling you. No, I like. No. See. You know that when you listen, you know, I listen to that show,
One
right?
man is going for babe, the real babe.
No,
That's
Oji is a model now. Oji is a model.
I
good
didn't go
looking
see.
babe.
I didn't go see. I didn't go. I don't know if you've noticed, right, with Tundu, right? She has this courage about herself, her command of English, right? The way her disposition, you know. So that's what I like about Tundu.
She's
I
a
mean, it's
lawyer
not
now.
like
Yeah.
Let me tell you what I observe about to do. Fortunately for her, she seems to have inherited her father's brain. Fortunately for her, but unfortunately for her, she seems to also have inherited her father's looks. So that's just to do. She inherited the brain,
uh,
no, but unfortunately she inherited his looks as well.
you think she does not have a good look?
You do think she does?
I think she does. She
No,
does.
come
I
on.
mean, she does. Look. I mean, it's up to you. But for me, I would always take Ketundu over Jinx.
I know, but
I leave Jinx to Abati because
yes.
the way he talks about Jinx, it's just like when you see Emmanuel Efeni on talking about Tundu, where he wants to call her Tundu and say Victoria Tundu Abiola.
All
So
right.
they have something going on there.
All right. All right. So back to the politics. Sorry. Yeah, that was a little. Yeah. So
Yeah, that's
Abati versus round of thoughts on that, and then I'll take it to another talking point for reasons of time.
Okay, yeah, like I said, as regards to the Abati Wike saga, I think both of them should have, managed it better than they did. And Wike, for crying out loud, is a chief executive of a state. He's an inspiration to many, and whatever he says, just like I was talking about Tinubu and the Emilio campaign. Every leader you have to have a certain way to to get out your message, because you see it might not be about you, but the way the perception, the way it will come across certain members of your followers, the implementation of that might be different, might be crude. So that's the reason why I always look at those in position of power, trying to curtail or trying to moderate how they give out whatever thing they're giving out to the world. Then on Reuben Abati's side, he is on the space, he's in the media space. I would also expect him with his integrity, to really, be less emotional. I know it's painful sometimes, and when you see Enrique trying to talk to an Abati, and we all know, but at the same time, when you're in the public space, you have to pander to every class of the society, and that is how you get the best out of people. So that's all I'm going to say about that.
All right, brilliant, well put. So always brilliant, well put. So brilliantly put this as well, Joel. So the decisions now been made. El Rufai dropped as APC set to name either Samuel Lalong or Shomole as the Director General of the Tinubu campaign, but Festus Kiyamo named as the media spokesperson. So he will be the one traversing the media houses, attacking everybody. And we saw how excellently he did that for Buhari. But the DJ for Buhari was Rotimi Amechi, of course, as you recall. But because he was in contention, I don't think he's really in the mental space to take it on now. But it's the jettisoning of El Rufai a faux pas on the part of the Tinubu campaign team. Joe.
You see, that's the reason why. I was talking about, the choices, Tinubu made. Tinubu, unfortunately, is starting on a very, very wrong footing. Very, very wrong footing. Because if he had another Christian, now the likes of El Rufai, all these guys, whoever he's putting down, nobody will really, really care. But because of that Muslim ticket, the talent that he actually, I would like to see an El Rufai as his DG, as a DG. But if you put him there, it is part of what they're talking about. Oh, it's still the same Muslimization, of all the positions in the party. So I don't really see that as a good move by Tinubu. Now, Adam Soshomole and what is other person's name along? Okay, I think he should go to Lalong because Adam Soshomole is also a Muslim as well, right? I believe he's a Muslim. So if you're going to choose between Lalong, if you're not going to give it to Arufai because he's a Muslim, why don't you give it to why don't you give it to Lalong? But if you're going to put in an Adam Shomole in the same picture, then Adam Shomole is also Muslim, if my memory serves me right.
Is it from Auchi? Yes, I suspect you might be right.
I think he's also Muslim. So the same reason you're canceling Adam Shomole is the same reason you're canceling Arufai. So give it to Arufai and keep it moving. Just let it just slide. I mean, just do what you since you think that's where the vote is going to come. Just continue to do what you're doing. I do not see if he gives it to either Shomole or Arufai, it's still a Muslim thing. So.
All right. And finally, and briefly, for time. Wike now. Wike others agreed to support Atiku, vow not to dump the PDP. Do you think Wike has now spent his venom, and now any more attack from him now will be counterintuitive, and they might reverse on him? So has he read the writing on the wall that the backlash might well come in his direction, and he has now been humbled by this final flogging by Reuben Abati, and is now aligning himself with the party line? Wike vows to work for Atiku. What are you making of that? Ajaleko anticipates that he's going to work against him in secret.
Between Wike and Atiku, it's becoming funny. Wike is not going about it the right way. And I'll tell you why. Wike is not coming from the place of fairness and equity in the first place. So what Wike is showing now is that desperation he has for that presidency, and which is something that most of us Nigerians don't want to see. Wike is showing every day the reason why we should praise the decision of Atiku not to make him the vice president. It is obvious. You wouldn't want to make Wike your VP because he is too ambitious. You wouldn't want to have someone like that. It's just like making a Tinubu your VP. Every day you'll be watching your back. So what Wike is trying to do now is he's on his last dance. What he's trying to be, I mean, they won Osun State without him, without all the plethora of people around him. They've been able to, have their own organize themselves the way they can. Wike is still a force, but the thing is, a bad leg is a bad leg. If Wike decides to be a bad leg, he is worse than an enemy because he's someone that you think that is a good leg, but inside of it, it is bad. He's going to work against you. So you can see that he's like eating you up from the inside. So he has to come out at that meeting that he had with all the representatives and governors and all that. That was just a show of shame, show of desperation. For what? For what? What happened was between you and people in the PDP. Go back to your party, man, and talk to them. Why do you want to tell us Nigerians? Why do you want to know? Who cares what you did? I mean, you shared money. Didn't you share money? You share money. So what is making you different? You were just outsmarted. The way you also outsmarted the people of the South is from that position. They are the reason why Atiku even made a headway, because if the Southwest and the South said, oh, it's going to be Southeast, they would have picked one person. And that person would have gone, and everybody would have seen equity and fairness. But the thing is that those in the North are not stupid. So they saw it that, oh, if we're going to talk about equity, this is where it should have gone to. So you in the South, or you in the South, in the South have no business, vying for this position. So let's all go do it. I believe that is all. That is where the decision came from. So Wike should just tone it down. He should tone it down. It has happened. It has happened. But we cannot keep going back and forth about this issue. We are tired about it. We now have to focus on issues, and let's see where the next step will come from. Abuja is going down. Yesterday in Taraba, an emir and a son was killed. About 89 soldiers and about 63 policemen were murdered. These are real issues that we should be talking about, not Wike, where Wike will plot his part. Where he goes, who cares? After, by next year, tenure will have expired. Please, let's talk about serious business.
All right, brilliant. Well put. So brilliant, well put. So brilliant, well put, as always brilliantly put by Joel, as you all know. So thank you, gentlemen. A real superstar failed today. Alexander Gomez, of course. Joel of Nashville, as you're all delighted in now. Your favorite voice, Ajale Koko, he turned up. And the rascally youth of the group, Ovie, the superstar known as. So there it has been, but we rinse and repeat only to have it again later in the day. Like, share, and subscribe. I do invite you to do that, and I hope you do that, some of you that are pricked enough heart to do the right thing. So like, share, and subscribe, and reconvene for round about 9 something. Let me not say 9:20 and then I turn up at 9:55 and you're all getting vexed. So turn up later in the evening for us to repeat it all over again, and even wider space, even more bigger voices, more intelligent conversation. The diet, the unique experience that it is the platform. It is not my doing. It is the field that I present. The superstars reconvene in the evening. I leave it here. Carry conversation on within the comment section, but here I say, okay, Ovie, do the salute, but here I say peace. Thank you.